Hello, my dudes. Today we are doing Chapter 3 of the Wasteland Survival Guide. Specifically, we are going to find out the history of Rivet City. Now, if you're watching this at home, you can follow along, particularly if you're not familiar with Fallout 3, to find a quick and easy solution to this quest. Now, in addition to learning the history of Rivet City, there is an optional objective, as there is in every Wasteland survival quest, and that is to learn the secret, true history of Rivet City. To, kick off this quest. It'd actually be in Rivet City. I know. Who would have thunk? Now, the first person you want to speak to is either Bannon, who is in the marketplace of Rivet City.
I'll be with you in a minute.
This guy.
Welcome to Potomac.
The next step is to confirm what Bannon's telling you is true, which, surprise, surprise, it's not. And he himself points out that, Belle Bonnie in the Muddy Rudder is the one who is telling vicious lies about him. So basically, you go to her for confirmation, and you ask her, after greeting her, if you haven't greeted her before, have any stories about this place's history?
What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more?
And really? Because Bannon said he organized the entire place himself.
Why, that lying son of a bitch. He wasn't even born when I got here. Want to know this tub's history? Only person who really knows it is Pinkerton. And most think he's dead, or gone. He's holed up in the other half of the ship, and he don't like visitors. He'll set you straight.
So, in pursuit of the optional objective, we find out that Pinkerton, a guy who lives in the broken bow of the ship, is the only one who really knows the history. Now, to get to him, you're gonna have to swim. Unless your lockpick skill is already 100, in which case, you can just lockpick your way into his little door. Pinkerton is actually right over here, behind this door, and to the right of the marketplace. But to get to him, if you don't have 100 skilled lockpick, so, if you're worried about rads, you should take some Radix, or have Radaway on hand. So you want to swim to the broken middle of the ship, and right here, just as you get to the right side, there's this little container almost, and you swim through it, and there's a door that opens to the broken bow. One thing to keep in mind is that the next little section is underwater, and so you want to get a good gulp of air before you go through, and generally do it all in one go. You can take a little breather right here, but then you want to go through this door and through all of these. Basically just head up through the first doors you see. And eventually you'll get to this portion where there are mirelurks, but air. After you kill the 2 mirelurks, the next section is up these stairs, and it involves traps. So if you're a klutz like me, this is probably a good time to save. As you can see, there's a hallway with red lights and wibbliness. But first, go here, straight in front of you. pick up a few things, like the 44 Magnum and some ammunition for it. So just shoot into the wibbly corridor to get rid of the gas and save yourself an untimely fate of burning to death. Keep going forward. You'll come across this little room, which looks like some sort of cafeteria, as well as a terminal to unlock that door. However, you can just activate the switch on the wall opposite the terminal, and that unlocks it. And congrats, you are in Pinkerton's lair. Next thing is to talk to the man himself. Tell me about the city's history.
What? I have been. Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around, all right. I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight. For that, you have to go all the way back to when remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck, about 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton. That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big Purity Project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell if I'm leaving the city I made great. Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place.
And yes, make sure you ask for proof.
Don't let your guard down.
You can also get this information and evidence by bypassing Pinkerton and coming around his little medical screen and activating his private computer with a key you can find in here. Also, do not forget the big book of science. After you're done, just go out the way you came. It is definitely a little more difficult to navigate on the way out if you have, a bad memory. But once you get to the door that says door to Rivet City, you can fast travel straight to Megaton. And then turn it into Moira. Remembering to take a nice rest beforehand, particularly if you have the Megaton house unlocked, to get a plus 10% experience when you turn it in.
Any luck finding out how Rivet City got started? Aha! Not just as easy as asking around, was it? Good information takes real work to uncover after all. So, tell me all about it.
And of course, don't forget to answer based on what perk you'd like to acquire.